but apparently I need to figure it out right now. When Wolf did all four games in the Snuff trilogy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Can I replace the Quick Men song in my playlist with the kazoo version? I did love Mega Mem. That was kind of absolutely amazing. So good. Okay. I'm almost ready for the reveal for our third game of the day, everybody. Kuso6rande is here because of all of you who are giving me a lot of love. Seriously, because of you, we're able to have some wonderful games here. Seriously. Now, yeah, the playlist can have both Quick Man as well as Kazoo Quick Man. That is definitely welcome. Yeah. Well, everybody, I think it is time. It's time. It's time for me to stop battling and move on to my reveal. Oh, wait. I did want to talk about my favorite games for Big Bad Gameathon. Big Bad. Welcome to my life. From what I've seen so far, I really enjoyed Dancing Furby and American Idol. Of course, Ritz Blues' runs were great. Karma Dragoness did fantastic with Heavy Shreddin' and The Immortal. If you haven't seen Kellogg's Gut Bacteria Reef, highly recommended. Let's see. The Barbie Shuffler, I need to catch the rest of that, but the Barbie Fashion Pack Games Race was pretty fantastic. Potter Game is always a hit. Let's see. I enjoyed Django Storm's Chiller. Lion King is always hilarious in my opinion. Let's see. Flintstones Dino Lost in Bedrock, of course. Hot Dog Crimes Dude made that game. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I could just scroll through so many. Real Mist, that's the last one in my list that I can get to right now and mention, because Real Mist was so funny. You wouldn't expect Mist to be a funny run, but it is. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome on in our GM, a ninja. Wait. What's the name here? Devil Ray? This is not right. This is not right at all. What is going on here? Why do we have Blasphemous Roar? Are you just here trying to pimp out Mystery Tournament? This is Devil Ray. Get out of here. Devil Ray, where are you? Where are you, Devil Ray? Come on. Devil, get out of here, Blasphemous Roar. I'm deleting this picture, okay? Yeah. You are cheating. Devil Ray with the picture. Yeah, that's right. Causing problems. Roar is hiding while he needs to stop hiding. And maybe you can go and do some Mystery Tournament stuff. Roar, go do Mystery Tournament, okay? Trying to just invade today. Devil Ray is our GM. And I'm just waiting for Devil Ray to come chat with me. That would be fantastic, because this is fun. Oh, wait. You want to see Roar's picture? No, I deleted it. It's gone forever. Okay? It's too bad. You will never have your Blasphemous Roar brought back again. Well, you know, I'm talking to Devil Ray, and unfortunately, I think we only have Devil Ray's ghost. Spooky.
Oh, you couldn't stop me if you tried.
Blasphemous Roar, what the? Oh my gosh. That's it. Where's the ban button? I literally could ban him. Well, that's okay. Let's go ahead and commune with Devil Ray. Well, everybody, I know that we often have some arcade, but I'm not feeling arcade today. No, getting very different vibes. It's like arcade if you could take it on the go. Except, wait a sec. What, Devil Ray? Hello, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, sup? I'm super excited because you did not have an arcade game.
Did I not have an arcade game? No arcade game this week. Instead, you're getting a really bad port of an arcade game. One of the worst I've ever seen.
I'm in love. Yeah, and you can take it on the go.
Indeed.
Yeah, thank you, Game Gear.
I love it. Big money, big prizes.
Big problems.
Wait, actually, no. I don't actually love it.
No.
We're looking at Game Gear Super Smash TV.
Yeah, that's right. If you have never smashed your TV before, this is the time to learn about how to do it. Because we're going to be smashing them left and right. Actually, I have no idea what happens in this game.
So, Smash TV is kind of like a video game version of the Running Man. Arcade version came out in the early 90s, was something of a hit for Midway, got ported to pretty much every console under the sun, and the Master System / Game Gear version is easily the worst.
Are you talking about the the Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I showed Justin that movie. It is the perfect level of camp. Seriously.
So yeah, the premise here is that you're a couple dudes in a futuristic game show that you're trying to win all the money and prizes, and everything is trying to murder you.
Yeah, murder for money! Well, wait, that's just... I mean, you might as well make it fun. Fun assassination, you know?
Yeah, so the arcade game has its fans. It was a dual stick shooter, and so basically you used one joystick to control your character and the other stick to point where your gun's going. This is a top-down action shooter game where the goal is to blow up a bunch of enemies in one room and then progress to the next.
Okay, makes sense.
However, the Game Gear has 2 buttons and a D-pad.
Okay.
So how do those controls work? The answer is they don't.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's a little bit concerning, turning a twin stick shooter into a Game Gear game.
So some of the conversions of Smash TV are actually really good. So a lot of folks will say that the SNES version is actually better than the arcade just because it's more fair. The arcade version very much wants you to spend a lot of money. This version is, well, they knew it was terrible, and so they gave you a bunch of lives to try to make up for the fact that you are going to die constantly.
Yeah, well, good. Everybody dying constantly is a part of life.
So I guess Roar tried to give this game out before I did, and somebody basically told him, no, I don't know about that. But
wait,
me, I'm just like...
Is that why Roar was invading the stream? Because he likes this game? Roar?
I don't know if he likes it, but, you know.
I don't know. He was really insistent on invading. Enough so that I might have to ban Roar forever.
No, don't do that.
I don't know. It's on my list of possible things to do to Blasphemous Roar. Ban him forever.
He's a good guy. Don't be mean to Roar. I will vouch for him.
I want to be mean.
Anyhow, as far as progress for this game goes, what we're going to do to make things more interesting is we are going to be grading folks on the amount of rooms they clear rather than, like, who gets the furthest the first.
Okay, that makes sense.
Otherwise, people are just going to make a beeline for the boss and it's not going to be interesting at all.
Uh-huh.
So this way, people get to explore and see just all the fun and interesting ways this game hates you.
Okay, let me go ahead and listen to Shmeev and see how the sound sounds.
The sound sounds terrible.
Stop pausing it. Stop pausing the game. It's like herding ducks. Actually, that's so cute. I love ducks. Oh my gosh, I want to herd some ducks. I want a duck herd.
You're jerks, bro.
No, that's goose. Ducks are cute. Ducks have never done anything wrong, ever. What do you have against ducks, Devil Ray?
Against ducks, but I mean, I've seen violent ducks.
Shmeev, I need you to play some audio. I've got you on stream. I'm listening. You have... There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm checking with the players to see if they are ready to play a probe production.
A production.
Yeah, checking with the players to see if they are ready to roll with the probe. I'm not taking my words back today, baby. No, they're here. They're here
They're
to
about
stay.
to get probed in the worst way possible.
Okay, best of luck to the players. I need everybody to bring me great emotes for this game. What would work well?
Anything involving guns and dying a whole lot?
Death, guns, explosions?
Yep.
Future emotes, and maybe TVs. Yeah, I see one TV, yeah. As soon as I see movement in the
Big
first
money.
stage, I will start our timer. Oh my gosh. Devil Ray, I'm so glad you're here, and I love your arcade games, but I also love when you bring stuff that's not arcade so that we can get a variety. And here we go, Moonbear shooting, pew pew, pew pew. Okay.
So, as a lot of people know, the Game Gear and the Master System are basically the same hardware, except one needs 6 AAAs to run and dies in about 2 hours. But Game Gear has reduced resolution, so that means a lot less room to maneuver overall.
See, the way that I played Game Gear, we never used batteries because batteries were too expensive for us. So what I would do, take the AC adapter that was like a foot long, plug it in, and sit on the wood floor and play my Game Gear games, you know? That was my life.
Yeah, I was given the choice between giving out the Master System and the Game Gear version, and I'm like, the Game Gear version, because there's less screen space, is markedly worse. So we're doing that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same with Sonic 2. It's...
So you can see immediately how this affects. There's like no room to move and dodge. The enemies just swarm at you. There's a bunch of landmines around. It's a bit of a hot mess already. Also, the power-ups randomly appear, but they've got severe bongo-itis in that you can touch them and you won't actually collect them half the time.
Ah, bongo. Yeah. What are the orbs bombs?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Don't touch
Self-destruct
those.
system. This did get a couple 8-bit microports. There is a ZX Spectrum version that is surprisingly impressive. I usually talk smack about the ZX Spectrum. I will not talk smack this week in honor of Sir Clive Sinclair.
Honestly, I would say that the closest analog that I have to this game would be Robotron, which was an absolute classic that...
This is very much a spiritual successor to Robotron.
Yeah, Robotron was definitely better than this. Even though it was harder to control, it was still a fascinating game for its time. Like, absolutely amazing. But yeah, you know, Acclaim published this version of the game. Apparently it was developed by Williams Electronics Games.
The arcade version was, yes. Acclaim had a big working relationship with Williams at the time that eventually kind of dissolved, but they made a ton of money off Williams stuff like NBA Jam and Mortal Kombat, doing ports of those.
Yeah, I see Mortal Kombat 2. One of the people who worked on this worked on a port of that. And Brian O'Shaughnessy, I have no idea how to say his name, also worked on Batman Forever.
Yes. Batman Forever, based on the MK fighting engine.
Yeah, that was in Big Bad Game-a-thon, everybody. That was not a good game at all. How about Back to the Future Part 3? Yeah, Solomon's Key. The Adventures of Bond, Basildon Bond. What the freaking crap is that? That is a game I've never heard of. How about Dickie's Diamonds? That's a class.
Some girl trying to collect that power-up and just failing.
Yeah, so there are a lot of credits in this.
There's a reason for that. Wait until you see the bosses. The bosses are extremely tanky. They were like that in the arcade version too. They want you to dump money in. But in this version, it's significantly more evil.
Okay. You know, honestly, this would be a very difficult arcade game to, like, take down to the size of a Master System and Game Gear and make it feel like it's working, you know?
Well, a claim like money.
It's true. So Shmeev is asking a question in Discord. Do we continue or start over? And I would say continue
yes,
if you
absolutely.
want.
Absolutely. Continue all you want.
Yep, continues are absolutely allowed. They have 7 of them. Considering the lives are at the top left of the screen, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you continue all, like, it takes the credits automatically.
Aha!
So you don't even have to worry. The game expects you to be dying a lot.
Oh, one of the artists who worked on this actually did a lot of very nice looking games like The Lion King, The Page Master, Jungle Book. Looks like he was one of the artists for one of the versions of Lemmings. Like, the Golden Axe did some additional graphics for that. So, you know, this game is hideous, but what can you do when you make art for an arcade game and have to, like, make it crunchy? This is what you get out of it. At the same time, you know, we definitely had the technology to make something like this playable. I mean, Robotron, what? That was Atari 2600?
I do think there was a 2600 port. I'm not entirely sure on that, but...
I definitely played it on 800 XL, which was before the Game Gear and Master System, I think.
So everyone is on to the first boss, Mewtoy Man. And as I mentioned, bosses in this game are pretty tanky, this one quite literally. One thing I tried to get across without saying it explicitly in my instructions is that Mewtoy Man is unable to be damaged by standard weapons. You have to collect the power-ups.
Okay. If you die, you lose the power-ups?
Yes. And the power-ups are random. Where they appear, what you get, random.
Well, that's great. At least
and
it's teaching you that those items are good.
Even with power-ups, this fight takes forever. It is extremely rude. Like, my first attempt at this when I was doing testing took me about 15 minutes. Second... So, this is a fairly short game. There's only like 3 quote-unquote stages, but the bosses take up a tremendous amount of game time.
Yeah, from what I can see, Blasphemous Roar is saying he has 300 health, and your normal gun does not deal damage, and the special guns only deal 1 damage each shot. So,
yep.
Yeah, this... People could possibly run out of credits fighting this guy. Amazing.
Right, but I think some people are getting it. Yeah, it's oh, Muir is actually making some good progress. Same with some girl here.
Oh yeah, he lost his shirt. Simply put, When you take so much damage, you start stripping. That's when
baby.
you know it's getting real.
And some of the power-ups are kind of useless in this one. All the, the rotating discs are usually pretty darn good. Not so much here, because that involves you getting close to Mewtoy Man. Anything that does not change your standard gun here is terrible, and yet the game just wants to give you stuff randomly, and as you can see, thanks to the low resolution, it is impossible to tell what you are picking up most of the time. You just kind of have to cross your fingers and hope it's something worth a damn.
Yeah. I like that they called the Game Gear version Super Smash TV, although there is nothing super about this version.
Yeah, the SNES version came first, that's why they called it Super Smash TV, and then they kind of ported off of that rather than the arcade version. Because Super Smash TV had a few adjustments that, as I said before, some people think it's actually better than the arcade game in some respects. So if you want to try out Smash TV and don't have a dual stick setup, SNES version, very much worth your time.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking with Binding of Isaac, at least originally, you had up, down, left, right, and then the right buttons on the controller in order to shoot up, down, left, and right, and it worked naturally. Yeah, you had to shoot at specific angles and move at specific angles, but it worked. It absolutely worked. I can imagine making a good playing game on the SNES.
A lot of people are asking about the Pleasure Dome. In my testing, I was just kind of going through making sure the bosses were okay, because I don't expect anyone to be really getting to the Pleasure Dome on this version. Pleasure Dome is an area you could only get to in the arcade version with a certain amount of collectibles. And there's an interesting story about this. The arcade game launched, and it would give you the players messages about a place called the Pleasure Dome. The thing was, Pleasure Dome was not actually in the game. They were just joshing, and then they found out that players were getting to the end, where's the Pleasure Dome? And they're like, ah, crap. They had to send out a revision with Pleasure Dome programmed in.
Yeah, apparently originally the arcade game shipped without the Pleasure Dome bonus level implemented, although there was text that mentions it. Design team had not been sure that players would actually get to the end of the game. However, players did finish the arcade game, and after operators informed Williams of players' complaints of being unable to finish it, company was like, okay, here's the version with the Pleasure Dome.
Williams did that a lot. They would ship games that were 75% finished and then just send update ROMs out if they did well. Oh man, I just... That is a good face right there of our contestant.
He looks
Beautiful.
very bored, despite being ripped.
He's ripped in a really weird way.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The abs have abs.
I would say that the artist really likes muscles, but hasn't seen very many.
So, small mercy of this game is that it actually refills your credits after each boss.
That is actually very nice. Back up to 9 credits.
So, we may have somebody actually finish this game, though with how tanky some of the bosses are, we're 11 minutes in, and 3 people are still fighting Mewtoy Man!
Yeah, how many bosses are there?
There are 3 officially, there are actually 4.
Okay.
4 is actually more or less just a reskin of Mewtoy Man.
Gotcha.
We have some girl on to Area 2, as noted by the fact that the floor is no longer a boring gray, but is instead a boring red.
No, it's blood. The blood of your
And the area
enemies.
is a lot bigger this time around, so just gonna have to make some choices about where to go.
That's actually kind of cool. If there are places that have upgrades or something, then that could be beneficial, or money
Right,
if you use money.
If you're going to the Pleasure Dome, then you want to explore a lot more. And for this, we want players to explore and just, get killed and have to endure pain as much as possible.
Yeah. Let me see. Pleasure. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there is a Pleasure Dome on the Master System.
Roar, did you play the Master System version, or did you play the Game Gear version? Because when I was testing, it's like, credits refill after every level. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, if you didn't beat the boss, then too bad. Too bad, Blasphemous Roar.
Because they just, they are like, hey, we realize this game is awful, so we're going to be nice, and we're going to give you more credits.
Yeah, honestly, I'm wondering, are there difficulty settings for the game? Yeah, it looks like
No,
Shmeev also gets 9 credits.
I looked in the options, because I was thinking, should I adjust the credits? Because this seems like a lot, and I looked, and the only options are sound and controls. There are absolutely no adjustments otherwise. Raditz, they are the same game for the most, except the Game Gear has reduced resolution that makes the room smaller and everything significantly worse.
Yeah, hitboxes don't particularly seem to be a good thing in this game. Like,
Dragus Cloud still, oh crap.
Uh-oh.
Dragus Cloud, oof. That hurts.
With that said, it's early enough that
Yeah.
I could see Dragus Cloud starting to catch up. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
They could also decide to go through more rooms, because like I said, we are judging this not based on how fast you get to the bosses, but how many rooms you're clearing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Does it keep track of the number of rooms?
No, we're going to have to check this afterwards.
Well,
Sorry, we got work to do.
ah!
Got Shmeev and Muware appear to be in the same room with the circling tanks, the tanks that
Yeah.
move around very, very slowly.
Time to dance, time to
finishing it up.
dance. Defend
Some
me!
girls in the room with the little moving orb thingamabobs that explode into murderous shrapnel when they are shot.
Okay.
Defend me!
I don't even know where she is. How do you defend somebody if they don't even exist?
Good question. I'm not sure.
I could say something that will make people angry. I don't.
You should say
gonna
things
say-
to make people angry. I keep on saying, y'all should say things to
I was
my
gonna
boyfriend
say
Matt.
that's religion. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble. See, it's Sunday, and I am saying the blasphemous things. That's for Roar to say, not for me.
Turtles nearby.
I'm in trouble. Eat my shrapnel. No, it's not healthy. Who wants metal in their stomach, huh? Oh, by the way,
the rooms are all named to a particular theme. They allegedly tell you what's going on. Like, in this room, there's going to be, well, no, I think it's the Meet Mr. Shrapnel room that introduces the guys that explode with shrapnel that kills you. Oh, geez, some girl, this room is mean. This is gross.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
So I'm taking a look at the way that points are playing out for this match, and the players have to come in at least second place in order to move on in the tournament. Third and fourth are going to be eliminated. Second place looks like they will be going to the tiebreaker, and first place is in the bracket. So, good job if anybody is able to beat this game. Some Girl is always a fierce competitor, but, looking at Muware and Shmeev, they're doing fantastic as well.
Now, I asked beforehand how many people had experience with Smash TV, because this is a fairly well-known arcade game, and Muware said he didn't really know much about Smash TV, but he seems to be doing quite well for himself, all things considered.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. The room Muware is in, some girl was just in, and it is a hot mess. But he seems to be handling it really well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's just so much shrapnel.
And yeah, now here comes the shrapnel. Ooh.
But with that said, like, still 8 credits left. I don't think it's too big of a deal. You know, making it to the boss with at least half of your credits would probably be worthwhile, but if you die here and there, big deal.
Well, the next boss is Scarface, and he is known as the Destroyer of Runs in the arcade version. I have seen many an attempted 1 credit clear die on that terrible boss.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll see, you know, I haven't seen the boss. If it's going to require some dancing.
It's the Game Gear version, it's going to be worse. Both Muware and some girl are down to 7 credits.
I do have a question. How do you strafe in this game?
How do you strafe in this game? Well, this involves setting the controls. You may have seen, I think it was it Shmi who had the options set early on? He went to options and there was a little control setting. So you can set your buttons to do one of 3 things. You can have it fire ahead of the direction you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it fire in reverse of the direction you're moving. Or you can set a button to lock, which you move in a direction, you hit the button, and then you move in a different direction, and you keep on firing in that direction. So that's basically kind of like a strafe.
Yeah, that's
sort of.
Probably the best way to play this.
But like for the Genesis version, since you've got a 3-button controller, you've got 3 buttons to do all those different things, and having those extra buttons makes it significantly more playable. When you've only got 2 buttons, you kind of have to pick out the one that works best for you, and then you're just stuck with it. You better get used to it, buddy.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think, what is what's the game? Blaster Master. Isn't it similar to that as long as you're shooting, you're going to be shooting the same direction no matter which direction you move? I'm relatively sure that's how it does it in that game. And it works. It works.
Is that it's significantly less chaotic. There is less stuff happening on screen at any one time in that game. Whereas the whole appeal of Smash TV is that there's just all this nonsense happening. Scarface has claimed some girl as his first victim. As you can see, Scarface is quite large, takes up a huge chunk of screen real estate.
Sinistar, no! Oh, geez. Hiding in the corner is kind of good. And then he vomits. Ew. Get your vomit out of here, dummy. Do you have to have special ammo in order to hurt him, though?
Like, in the arcade version, I believe, yeah, you did need special ammo. In this version?
It does look like you still do, yeah.
Yeah. And the boss after this, you did not need any special ammo in the arcade version to beat them. In this version, you do. So it's not even a particularly accurate port. It's got problems. Basically, if they're flashing, they're taking damage. If they're not flashing, they're not taking damage.
Chad is noting that it doesn't look like they scaled Scarface down from the Master System port, which means that he actually fills up more of the room than usual.
Yep.
Well, that's just lovely. That's amazing.
Oh, lordy. I love
this wiggle. It's a good wiggle.
He's so precious.
Yeah, he is. He's also very sick. That's sort of how I've been feeling, you know?
Yeah, I haven't been great the past couple days here myself, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
I'm doing much better today, luckily.
Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday was kind of like, oh, I'm visiting friends? Well, I'm gonna go to sleep on their bed for a couple hours. So, bye.
Girl taking out the first part of Scarface. They did keep, like, the boss transitions, which is kinda cool, but still,
It's
yeah,
nothing new,
the
you
bosses
know?
are they're still tanky.
Yeah. But honestly, I
And they've
think
got new
all the
attacks now.
players have enough credits that they're going to be able to get through this just fine.
Well, stage 3 is gonna be... Because stage 3 has 2 bosses. We'll have to see on that one.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, I mean, this boss, they're going to destroy, like... And because you get a credit refill between level 2 and level 3, right?
Right.
Yeah, so there we go. Some girl has beaten it. Credit refill and flexing time. Look at all those TVs she won. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And mowers? Oh my gosh, Hank Hill would be so jealous.
Have you won propane and /or propane products?
Sure, luggage. Oh, we're going to the moon. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in a different Arnold movie. Yeah. What else? Cash? Yeah, you can use that for fuel. I mean, if cash is still used as money, then that's great. But if not, it really is good to start a fire.
Oh, I find it interesting how Scarface is significantly less of a threat than Mewtoy Man in this one, despite Scarface's big size.
Mhm.
It's just... this game has problems.
Shmeez is pausing for just a second or so. That's completely fine. That's allowed. You know, you don't get extra time after the pause, but sometimes you just need to give your hands a break.
Yeah.
But
This
luckily,
can be
it seems
pretty
like this
intense,
game
which
has...
is made worse by the control scheme.
Doesn't it have auto fire, though?
No! So, we've got a
Wait,
pretty
what?
large map here. Was a bad... I'm seeing him.
So
he's
wait,
saying,
wait,
well,
wait,
that
how
was a
did-
bad idea.
How does the strafing work, then? How does the lock work? Because... What do you push to lock?
Well, it's like I said, you press a button, and as long as you hold it down, you are locked, assuming that is the control scheme you chose.
Is that not the fire button that you hold?
Yeah, that's the fire button.
So, does it
It is a
automatically
lock-handed
shoot
fire button.
while you're holding it?
Ah, I thought you meant, like the arcade version, where if you push... Because I'm thinking... See, in the arcade version, you push the joystick, and that's what fires. I think, I was thinking you were saying, does it fire automatically for you? No, it does not. I'm sorry, I totally misunderstood.
Oh, okay. It's fine. It's just, if you hold the button, you
Yeah.
will keep firing. Okay. That makes me a lot less worried about about things. Woo, I was a little bit stressed there. I'm like, oh, these poor souls having to
snakes.
mash this entire time.
The snakes in the Game Gear version are... They're usually not too bad. The snakes in this version are pretty nasty. They tend to flood the screen and just overwhelm you.
I was going to say they're cute, but I really can't see very much detail in these snakes, you know? They got
Some
shoulder
events-
pads.
This was originally a twin-stick arcade game. So, it's a twin-stick arcade game having been ported to a console with only 2 buttons.
Yep. And guess what? Didn't work out so well.
Nope. In the bonus room, getting all those prizes. Not sure what the pause was on Shmeev's end. I'm just looking,
Well, Shmeev is back in the
they're
action.
back.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Mooer is making some quick progress, by the way.
time for this one is not as big of a deal. Just because, like I said, it's not about progressing as fast as you can, it's about clearing as many rooms as possible.
Yeah, and we're so sorry, Cadus. And by us, I mean, I'm so sorry. I didn't choose the game.
Well, hey, I wanted something more interesting than just everybody makes a beeline for the boss. We gotta see more of what makes Smash TV on Game Gear extremely special.
Well, I mean, Smash TV is all about the prizes, you know? So having them go and try to get the prizes, not just kill the boss, you know, that's really important.
This isn't Legends of the Hidden Temple. You're not here trying to clear things for speed. You're trying to get as much money as possible.
To be fair, I saw some of those kids go through the Legends of the Hidden Temple, and I don't think they were going for speed either. I did it, time to take a little stroll through the temple.
Something was fundamentally wrong with the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. Like, it just would not ever accept that stupid thing.
Well, when you put it on upside down, of course it's not gonna accept it. You gotta put it on the right way. You can't just put a monkey head upside down and expect little temple god to be okay with that. He's like, no, stop being a moron. No. Yeah.
Yeah, once we get some clears, assuming clears happen, I'm going to just start going through individual and counting up different stages.
My personal strategy...
I'm keeping rough track of it right now. Both in the event of a tie, we're going to go by score.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and say Legends of the Hidden Temple. My strategy would be avoid the forest at all costs, okay? That's where you go to die.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. And yet the number of kids that would end up there and not immediately go back. They're like, hey, let's loot all these trees. It's like, that's where the evil lives. No.
Hold on, just one sec. My apologies here.
You're good, you're good. I'm eating lunch as well, so yeah. Then again, we're all talking about Legends of the Hidden Temple. It was all rigged. Whatever. Like, no, legitimately, it was rigged so that only a certain number of people would win each season. Yeah. So they would probably force you to go through the areas where you're going to get caught. So they get caught, and then you don't win the prize. Because capitalism is there. That's right. Legends of the Hidden Temple, more like Legends of the Hidden... The hidden stock value. Yeah, the stock value was in you, the kid, losing. Didn't have to pay. Yeah, there you go. I guess. Okay, some girl is currently in another really boring looking room, and Mewtoy is fighting the giant snake. I kind of like this snake.
Yes, the cobra. So, this is the boss that... There were actually two of them in the arcade original. In this version? No, there's only one. And the way you damage it is a little screwy.
Yeah, how do you even hit it?
Well, it's hittable, but I don't believe your normal shots do any damage, which is different from the original.
Yeah, honestly, with how much it's moving around, it's annoying. At least the music in this port is kind of okay. It's probably like a shadow of its former self, but I don't know. I've never played the original. I can be like, this is okay. Not terrible, not impressive.
It's missing the voice clips, and the voice clips are part of what really, really makes this game. Freezard, most of the bosses in the original had that rule. This boss did not.
What rule?
Only special weapons damage the boss. Also, oh lordy, that spray does not look good.
Seriously, this fire is ridiculous. And your hitbox is kind of stupid big in this game. Like, I don't understand why.
It's a lot bigger than it should be, yes.
Okay,
also, in
yeah.
case you're wondering, score is extremely truncated.
I've been working a little bit on my own little game that I'm making, and one thing that I've been doing with deadly hitboxes is making them a little bit smaller than you would normally expect, just a tiny bit, because it's better to be a little forgiving than to have stupid hitboxes.
Stupid hitboxes are a pretty common trait among bad video games. Shmeev just eating the giant fireball there. Man, this is draining lives pretty fast, huh?
Oh yeah, we're going down.
Smash TV really misses something without the voice clips. Absolutely. Because Midway had some really good sound guys. And their games were just full of really weird and funny voices. I suggest playing Super High Impact just because it is an unbelievably goofy football game with some hilarious sound clips. That's another Midway winner right there. Alright, Shmeev managing to take down the Cobra. Didn't get the credits refilled, so they've got more rooms to do here.
I mean, yeah, but no. A snake. There are lots of snakes in the world, okay? Killing one snake doesn't mean you beat every bad guy in life, no. In fact, there are worse bad guys than snakes, like bears.
There's a big bad guy still waiting at the end here.
Yeah, everybody, if you had to choose between fighting a bear and fighting a snake, what would you choose? I'm going snake all the way. Especially if I'm wearing thick boots. I'm not gonna bite through my boots, stupid snake.
Oh, here comes those tiny snakes.
Yeah, Dragus Cloud. Okay, everybody watching, we are judging this based off of the number of rooms cleared in a playthrough. Dragus Cloud is behind.
Of a tie, we are going by score.
Okay, gotcha. Dragus Cloud is behind at the moment, but that doesn't matter too much. He's got a very good chance of catching up if he can play well. If any of the other players do get a game over, by the way, it is a pretty significant setback for them. They really have no chance of getting back into it.
Yeah, this is, my internet is being really poopy right now, and Twitch is not letting me see how things are going. Twitch!
Oh no, I'm dropping frames! No! I've been framed!
Oh crap, are you dropping frames? Are we being Comcast again?
It might be back. Comcast! We are! No! Everybody go and kick Comcast in the face!
Ah, crap. Ah, jeez.
That's okay. It'll come back. Oh, it's trying. It's trying. I got the green. I think we're back. Yeah, that's right. We're back with video game. This one.
We're back with Smash TV, where some girl is still fighting the Cobra, as is Mooware. Shmeev making some very, very good progress getting up to the final boss here.
Yeah, I would say that there is a decent chance that Shmeev is in the lead at this point.
Yeah, definitely in the lead as far as score goes, but I'm gonna have to double check and see how their room progress went.
Now, Mooware is also moving on. I would say that, oh my gosh,
This
Comcast
boss is giving
back.
some girl
No.
a surprising amount of trouble.
Please, Comcast, don't be like this to
Mooware
me.
is not in as good a position, though. His credits are severely depleted in compared to Shmeev, who's got 4 lives, 6 credits. And the final boss is very difficult. Well, actually, it's just a reskin of Mewtoy Man, but it's a more difficult reskin of Mewtoy Man. And you remember
he's
how long
already a
Mewtoy Man
tank.
took.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, we have some girl moving on. It is
Okay.
entirely possible for Dragus Cloud to catch up. That's kind of why I did this format, because, like I said, these bosses are very tanky, and I didn't want it to be a case where if somebody dies, then they just have no chance.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, drags Cloud onto the Skull Circle. Yeah. Okay, it looks like the internet is a little bit more stable. Please, no jinx, no jinx. Comcast, if you're listening... Wait, no, NSA, if you're listening, go after Comcast, okay? Because they're trying to ruin my stream. Go get him, agent.
Shmeev is absolutely in the best position right now, as far as spare lives and whatnot.
Oh yeah, Shmeev... I mean, Shmeev was able to take down the snake relatively quickly. And I think that made a huge difference. Simply put, the snake was very deadly. You kill it fast, you have more lives.
These last few rooms are absolutely brutal, by the way. As you can see, you kill one wave of enemies, and then the next one just appears. Dragus Cloud catching up pretty fast.
Lots of extra lives, though. At least I'm seeing a good number of extra lives pop up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. If possible, I would very much like for the players to be able to beat the last boss.
Yeah, it's just... The annoying thing is that you do not know how many phases there are going to be, and as soon as enemies spawn, you have a chance of dying. Like, if they spawn right in... Can they spawn right on top of you?
Yeah, this Smash TV on Game Gear does not give a single care in the world about your feelings.
So it's blatantly unfair. I mean, at least they give you a lot of lives and credits.
Well, I guess somebody realized that this game was just not very good and realized it was unfair, so they're just like, let's just, give them a bunch of lives.
Well, good.
We don't need to balance this. Just give them a bunch of lives. It's kind of a low-effort way to make your game playable, and it doesn't really actually make the game playable.
Yeah, it's sort of playable.
Any game makers, yeah, don't do that.
I will take note. I will not do that. Honestly, we're at the point in video games where some of them are bringing back life systems, but it still doesn't feel very, useful.
Well, it's understandable why you'd have a live system in an arcade game, right? You want people to spend money.
Oh, yeah. But, for other games, for games on your computer, life system really doesn't make too much sense anymore.
I mean, Mario still sticks with it, because it's fun to get one up. it wouldn't feel like Mario if you didn't have, a chance to, like, stomp on a turtle and get a billion 1-ups.
I mean, yeah, okay, like, side-scrolling Mario, sure. And I'm glad that Mario has checkpoints every few levels, so that, you can maintain progress, like the fortresses,
Mewtoy is not in a good position right now. 2 credits and still has a couple rooms left to go. This could be bad.
Yeah, we're getting down to the wire with Mewtoy here. Ooh.
Oh, they're gonna have to start playing really, really cautiously as Super Smash TV on the Game Gear will allow.
See, yeah, you say play cautiously, but looking at this game, that's not a huge option for a lot of the players here.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, Mewtoy doing a pretty good job in the corner, though, like baiting out some of the bullets.
Shmeev is looking pretty good here. Shmeev has found a safe spot to farm a bunch of snakes.
Not the snakes! Oh, they just bit his ankle! I hate when that happens.
Trying to get the power up and... Yep, here comes the tanks.
Rawr. I mean, I don't think tanks roar. But they could. They could if they wanted to, okay? I'm not going to say no.
In the arcade version, Mewtoy Man makes a lot of sounds, and Mewtoy Man is very much a tank. This is not looking good for Mewtoy. Some girl is also kind of in a not great situation here.
Yeah.
Well, for all these players, I'm starting to feel less confident any of them are going to be able to beat the last boss. At this rate.
If you can manage to farm a few extra lives at this point, that's huge, that's extremely important, but I really don't know if, you're going to keep up with the amount of times you die. At least you have a reasonable amount of invincibility at the beginning when you respawn.
These last few rooms just absolutely hate you and everything you stand for.
What do I stand for?
I don't know. Goodness in video games? No, wait, this is Kuso6rande, never mind.
Stand for pain! I stand for pain and suffering! Wait! This is not an affront to me! I'm on the bad guy's side! Oh no! Devil Ray! I'm the bad guy all along!
Oh, it took you that long to figure it out?
No, I've always known. I just don't let people know I know, Wait, I actually let people know all the time. I'm just a liar today.
Shmeev having to take a break. Understandable.
Yeah, honestly.
Because these last few rooms are just brutal.
Well, Shmeev had to type in Discord and said, "Am I in hell? What is happening?"
Yeah, I just saw that. That's
yeah,
so
it goes forever. It goes freaking forever. Why does this room go forever?
That's Smash TV on Game Gear, baby. Ah, there you go. Prizes. No, wait, more snakes. You get presents and also more snake.
Okay, so you know what's funny? Dragon's Cloud is almost caught up to the other players.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb.
And yeah, Sprint God is right. These last few rooms on normal Smash TV are also
there goes
pretty
Shmeev.
nasty.
Eat my eyeballs! Ew, gross! I don't want to eat your eyeballs!
Guess who the final bad guy is? It's the host!
Oh yeah, this guy! Oh, he is really big.
Indeed.
What happened to him? How did he get so big?
He, got turned into a robot and then put on a tank.
Okay.
You know, just normal things.
And you know, what I would probably do instead is just get the room reasonably hot. We're talking like maybe 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and then close the doors. You're good. That'll take care of him.
So yeah, basically a reskin of Mewtoy Man. Instead of the blue lasers, he shoots his eyeballs out. He has a never-ending supply of eyeballs for reasons. You know, I'm not exactly an expert on Smash TV lore here, but...
They're handy. It's handy to have eyeballs, you know?
Yeah, this is supposed to be the big twist that game show host was the big bad guy all along.
What a guess, you know, a guy pitting everybody against their neighbors and their friends to kill each other for fun. Yeah, how could you possibly be evil?
These last few rooms are just... So, Williams is not exactly, like, a company known for making gameplay choices that are entirely fair to players.
Oh, yeah.
And Smash TV is emblematic of that. You can beat the game on one credit, but it's not very likely. The RNG just kind of has to favor you in very, very, very good ways.
Yeah, I'm very concerned that Mewtoy may get a game over in just a little bit.
Yeah, some girl is also on a similar trajectory. Whether or not they can survive these last few rooms is very much going to determine their placement.
Yeah. Now remember, everybody, first place is going to be moving on to the bracket. Second place will go into the tiebreaker if we have a tiebreaker. Third and fourth are eliminated.
A really good place.
Who's that? Shmeev?
Shmeev, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, sure, there's a lot of death, but otherwise it's a good place.
Oh, wow. Very cursed number for his score.
66666. Shmeev, did you just tempt the devil here? Shmeev, you're gonna continue, right? Okay, there we go. 66666.
Shmeev, press the button. Yes, good.
Ooh. This guy really needs to go see an optometrist, let me tell you.
You don't need an optometrist when you're a cyborg.
I don't know. If your eyes are doing this, you need to see somebody.
You need somebody to fix your optical sensors, I guess.
Fix your everything, because this is not right. What? Shmeev has taken the boss down and goes to the exit roadster. Look at those cars. You won so many cars, Shmeev. Look at all those vacations. Oh my gosh, I love it. Mewtoy gonna try to eat some eyeballs, but I think he will get a game over before he can get through this. Now, remember, this is... Oh, VCRs! Oh my gosh, look at all the VCRs! That's like a total of $10 right there. Cash.
Are the enemies on some girl's screen supposed to be glitchy? No, they're not. But, you know, at this point, I'm not surprised by anything.
Some girl has been on this screen for a long time.
So, I'm going to have to go back and just count and see how many rooms Shmeev cleared. But...
Yes. As it turns out, we are judging based off of the number of rooms cleared.
I'm also going to mark down their score in case of a tie.
Yeah, good idea there. Mewtoy is trying his darndest, but honestly, with only one extra life, I do not see this going well. Ooh, death there. At least he's done a decent amount of damage against the boss here.
Alright, so...
Yeah, I guess Shmeev did not win any toasters, correct?
No toasters!
Yeah.
I think they won toasters in an earlier round. Right, let me double check.
Game over for Mewtoy. That is pretty much the last chance to get into this. I'm gonna invite Shmeev come talk since you're done with runs first. I'm gonna go ahead and invite Shmeev. General voice if you want. And I'll invite Moower as well.
Right.
Now, with that said, Moower, even though he died against the boss, that boss, as far as I know, only counts as one screen. So if he had cleared more screens before, then that would possibly put Moower into first place. But here's Shmeev. Hello there, Shmeev.
Hello. How you doing?
Hey, doing well. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I gotta say, this was a game that I just played.
Yeah, so I've heard. At least people claim that it's a game. Yeah, honestly, this game is rough.
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about it?
So, I'd say having played some Smash TV in my time, it's not exactly the Smash TV that I'm looking for.
Okay.
Not exactly, no.
I find some of it interesting, like the control scheme, as goofy as the settings are for it. I mean, it's interesting to have them for, what's supposed to be an 8-way shooter on 2 buttons. Like, a button that just makes you shoot backwards from whatever direction you're running.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually, and kind of useful.
Yeah. Now, just so you know, we do not know for sure if you're taking the victory because this is being scored based off of the number of rooms that you cleared, but you were the first one to get past the final boss. Moower made it there but died, and some girl is fighting the final boss right now. Might actually pull this off.
Ooh. Yeah, that was rough. The room right before that, I was just like, what's happening?
Forever. It takes for freaking ever. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if Dragus Cloud actually beats the game as well.
Nice. So, is there a count? Are you guys keeping track of the count? I wasn't sure if I had to, keep an eye on something.
You don't have to. I think we're going to figure it out.
I'm keeping track of count and score after the fact, because tiebreakers are going to be done by score. But I think if you've been taking the longest paths possible,
I can say I haven't exactly. I know for the first level, I accidentally just wound up at the boss way sooner than I thought I should.
Right.
Yeah, and there goes some girl clearing the game as well. Okay, let me bring in Moower. Hello there, Moower.
Hey.
Hey, congrats at
Hello.
making it to the final boss. Taking a game over against him, not really too bad. It's only a loss of 1 screen. So, honestly, you made a really good push there.
Yeah, I thought it was near the end. Those last 2 rooms were ridiculous.
Yeah, Dragus Cloud is having fun in them right now. Yeah, what are your thoughts of the game?
Yeah. I think this is pretty much the most joyless crap I've played in Kuso6rande.
Oh no! Joyless crap.
I usually enjoy most bad games, but this, no.
I love it. That's
I want to
amazing.
apologize, but then again, I don't.
Well, it depends.
Restocking credits on every level is actually really helpful.
Yeah, that's kind of why I picked this.
Yeah, I'm glad that it does that, because it really would not be completable without that.
I didn't expect it because, I mean, anybody who's played Smash TV knows that the best Smash TV power-up is dying and then just running into everything before your invincibility runs out. So being able to do that, like 9 times 9 or 6 times 9 times, whatever. Nice.
Yeah. And then the invincibility power-up itself seems to be really strong. It lasts for a long time. It's good.
The game was being very nice with those on that one room for me. It's just like, here you go. There's 3 of them in a row.
Yeah. Well,
Snake
everybody else has finished their runs, but Dragus Cloud is just trying to wrap this up. I don't know if Dragus Cloud has enough time to beat the final boss. I don't think so.
Yeah, if they can't beat the final boss, then they're probably out, because even if like they tied for number of rooms cleared, then their score might not. Like eyeballing it right now, I'd say Some Girl is in the lead in terms of both rooms cleared and score. So
I would say that that's likely, although I'm not completely sure. Yeah, this is an unconventional scoring way. We're not basing this based off of who beat the game first, but the number of rooms that they cleared on the way to the final boss, as well as the final boss.
So we were told to clear as many rooms as possible, but I couldn't enter most rooms. It just gave me 1 or 2 options. Like I looked at the map and even at the connections between rooms, but it doesn't let me go anywhere. So I don't really know how to plan out visiting more rooms.
Yeah!
Except not going the straight line.
It looks like the map has some sort of like thing going with it where some rooms connect and others don't, even though they're right next to each other, but it's hard to read it in time before it goes away, even though it feels like it's there forever when, you know, it's covering up something important.
Yeah!
Also very, very low res.
In testing, I actually ran into a bomb while that was up.
Oh, are you? Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
I was doing controls
That
and
was
stuff,
really
and I'm
good.
like, oh, that bomb, cool, great.
This was pretty
Still
fun.
fun.
This was
Enjoyable.
fun. You know, it is not a great game, but at the same time, I don't know. If you got this for Game Gear, do you think it would be a sufficiently enjoyable version of Super Smash TV? I mean, we know Mooware's opinion. It's joyless. Shmeev,
Yeah.
what about your opinion? What do you think?
You know, having this for like a car ride or something like that, it's all right. It has the Smash TV spirit if it doesn't, you know, capture the, you know, good controls that it has. Its feel is kind of bad, but I mean, it's friendly enough. You can accomplish things in it. You can beat this game, which is more than I can say for like Smash TV Arcade or anything like that.
Very true. Well, there we go. That is time. Shmeev and Some Girl are the two who were able to clear the final boss. Dragus Cloud, one room before it. Mooware beat the final boss. Kate is eyeballing it and saying that it's probably going to be Shmeev and Some Girl moving on. Although I think that it would be very worth going and reviewing the other two players as well to see how many. Yeah, so Devil Ray, you've got work ahead of you.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna be doing. That's what I'm up to now.
Well, cool. Seriously, Mooware, Shmeev, this was a lot of fun. You both did fantastic. Honestly, everybody did fantastic, making it as far as you did. So, I have a question. Is there anything you need to plug, Mooware?
Not particularly.
Oh, okay. What about you, Shmeev? Anything going on?
So it's not like it's not like a video game related thing. I don't do a lot of streaming or anything like that.
Oh, that's fine.
But you know what? If anybody out there likes some music, some niche music that a lot of people hate, me and my buddy have a show where we cover Juggalo music on a bi-weekly, every other weekly basis.
Oh my gosh.
It's called Juggalo Judgment. I'm the Judgment, he's the Juggalo. It's a fun time.
That's a really fun idea. Honestly, I don't think I can stand their music, but I can appreciate some of what the Insane Clown Posse does. I can appreciate some of them, as well as like the one guy really supporting his daughter. Like,
Oh
it is
yeah, Jay's great on that.
It is so cool to see a father in the media just like sticking his neck out for his daughter. Seriously. Some Girl, hello. I guess you came too.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. I guess Mooware, Shmeev, we'll go ahead and let you two run off, and we can talk to Some Girl a little bit. Take care, both of you.
Congratulations.
Okay, see you.
Peace.
Yay. Some Girl,
Hi,
what
what's
did
up?
what did you think of the game?
Uh, it was kind of boring.
Uh-oh. Devil Ray was kind of boring?
I mean, half the time you just stand in the corner and hope that they move into your bullets. Like, that's how you don't die.
Yeah, essentially. But at the same time, I think that you started taking advantage of the invincibility frames that you had, as well as if you picked up the invincibility power-up, you could do a lot with that. But otherwise,
the shield power, crazy.
Yeah, it lasted so long.
That was like by far the best thing you could get, except for against the bosses, where it was kind of useless.
Yeah, you could really hurt the bosses in the meantime, you know? You didn't die, but they didn't die. Just prolonging the inevitable, that's what it was.
Yeah, and I mean, I tried to go to as many rooms as possible, but I don't really know how I could influence that. Because I just picked the direction, and sometimes it let me keep going on the map, and sometimes it didn't, so...
Yeah, that is kind of an important question. You know, we're reviewing exactly how that works, and if for some reason there's absolutely no way people could influence it, like even with the beginning choice, I imagine that judging people's progress towards the final boss would make the most sense as a back, as well as the score. And you had a pretty dang good score there towards the end.
Well, yeah, once you announced that we were going to be judged on score, I was like, oh crap, I need to start picking up all these items.
Oh, good.
How or like shooting
if you're going into more rooms, you're gonna get more bonus stuff. So
yeah, that's also certainly the case. But it's like with like the snake enemies, you could just stand in the corner and do nothing. But I was like, oh, I gotta shoot them because that's more points.
Yeah, there's so many snakes. They just, oh my gosh, those last couple rooms were ridiculous. They took forever.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like I killed the third boss. There's only 3 bosses in the manual. Like, this is probably like the end of the game. And then there was like 30 more minutes of game, which was just 2 rooms.
Oh yeah. Seriously though, I had fun talking about this game. We had a good time. Even if you thought it was somewhat boring, still figuring out the strat to deal with the various rooms as well as rack up those points. It's worthwhile. You did pretty good.
Yeah, no, I didn't interesting for us to see you figuring out the strategies on the fly.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some interesting strategy to it. I think that once you figure out the strategy, the execution became kind of like stand in the corner and wait for a power-up to spawn.
Yeah, honestly, we were really worried you might get a game over towards the end.
I was really worried I was going to get a game over towards the end, so...
That happened to Mewtoy, and it kind of broke my heart, but, you know...
Like on the final boss?
Yes.
Oh...
Those last few rooms drained his continues pretty darn bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much all that we have. Some Girl, is there anything that's going on your side of the streamer world or video game world that you want to plug or let people know about?
Not really. I kind of haven't been streaming much at all recently. Been super busy with work, but...
Can I ask you what you do for work, or is that not allowed?
Oh, I've said it before. I teach high school.
Oh, yeah. Do that. Seriously, I know that whenever anybody is teaching anything, you just... Yeah, it sucks my soul away, and I'm even if I'm only doing 1 or 2 classes. So, congrats on actually still having a soul, is what I'd say.
Well, though that's up to debate, you know.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you so much, and Devil Ray, thank you as well. I'm glad you were able to come and share this atrocity with us.
I'm glad I got a chance to inflict it on people, because, boy, it's
a mess of an arcade game, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me as usual. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and let people know the final results as soon as we have them. Take care, both of you.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.
All right, I'm gonna duck out and just focus on double checking scores.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Devil Ray. See you later. Take care.
Will do.